This is The House in the Wood from a 1904 edition of Grimm's Fairy Tales. This book is in the public domain and may be freely used by anyone. Welcome, everyone, to another AFuzzyWorld Reading Collective. If you want to read along, you can go to library.afuzzyworld.net and download the PDF. Tonight's reading is out of Grimm's Fairy Tales, The House in the Wood. The House in the Wood. Once upon a time, a poor woodcutter lived with his wife and 3 daughters in a little hut on the edge of a great forest. One morning, when he was going to his work, he said to his wife, "Let our oldest girl bring my dinner to me today, and in order that she may know which way to go, I will take a bag of seeds with me and scatter them along my path." When it was almost noon, the maiden took her father's dinner and went along the path into the wood. But she soon lost her way, for the robins and the bluebirds and the sparrows had picked up the seeds which her father had dropped, so that she did not know which way to turn. The girl went on, deeper into the wood, until night fell, and she saw a little light twinkling through the trees. "Someone must be living where that light is," she thought, "and I am sure I can stay there for the night." She ran on quickly and soon came to a little house where she had seen the light. She rapped at the door, and a rough voice cried out, "Come in!" Then she stepped into a narrow, dark hall and tapped at the door of the room. The same voice cried, "Come in!" And as she opened the door, she saw a little old man seated at a table. His chin rested on his hands, and his long white beard almost reached the floor. In the next room, which looked like a stable, she saw a cock, a hen, and a spotted cow. The maiden told the old man how she had lost her way in the wood, and asked him if she might stay in his little house for the night. Then the old man called to his animals, "Oh, little chicks and spotted cow, the maid's request shall we allow?" The cock, the hen, and the cow seemed to bow their heads in answer, and turning to the maiden, the old man said, "You will find here plenty to eat and drink, so go into the kitchen and cook up supper for us." The girl soon found the food, and after cooking a good supper, she placed it on the table. Then she and the old man sat down and ate a hearty meal, but the poor animals had nothing. After supper, the girl said, "Kindly tell me where I can sleep, as I am very tired." There came a low voice from the next room saying, "Oh, maid, take care how we shall fare, for in your food will lie your good." But the maiden was so sleepy that she did not notice what the voice had said. The old man told the girl to go upstairs, where she would find 2 rooms, with a bed in each, and that she must shake the beds well and make them both. The young maiden went quickly upstairs, made her own bed, and without thinking of the other, lay down and was soon fast asleep. Not long after, the old man came up into his room. Finding his bed unmade, he sadly shook his head, and going softly into the room where the maiden lay asleep, he touched the bed with his hand, when the bed, with the maiden on it, slowly sank through the floor into the cellar beneath. The woodcutter came home late in the evening and said to his wife, Why did you let me go all day without my dinner? Did I not tell you to send it to me by our oldest daughter?
It's not my fault, answered his wife. I sent the girl with your dinner, but she must have lost her way in the wood. No doubt she'll come home all right tomorrow.
The next morning, the woodcutter again set off for the forest, and this time he asked his wife to send the second daughter with his dinner. I will carry a bag full of peas with me today, he said, and scatter them along my path. They are larger, and she can see them easily than the seed. But by noon, when the second daughter went with her father's dinner, the peas were gone, for the birds of the wood had picked them all up. She also went on and on into the forest until at nightfall she saw the light and came to the little house. Going in as her sister had done, she found the old man with the long white beard and the animals in the next room. The maiden cooked the supper for the old man and herself, but she never thought of feeding the animals, and also forgot to make the old man's bed, so at night, while she slept, man touched her bed and let it down into the cellar below, just as he had done to her sister. On the third morning, the woodcutter said to his wife, "You must send our youngest child with my dinner today. She is always good and kind, and will not lose her way as her sisters have done. For they like to run here and there like wild bees when they swarm." But the mother would not listen to him.
"No,"
she said.
"I will not send my dearest child now that the others are gone."
"Never fear," said the father. "He cannot lose her way, for she has bright eyes. And besides, I will take a bag of white beans with me and drop them along my path. She will be sure to see them and can easily find her way." So the next day, the mother, sad at heart, sent her youngest daughter into the forest. The girl carried a basket of food on her arm, and though she found few beans, yet so many had been picked up by the crows, hawks, and squirrels that she soon lost her way. Like her sisters, the youngest daughter went on and on into the forest until night fell. Then she also found the little house, and going in, saw the old man with the long beard and the animals in the next room. When the maiden had told her story, the little old man with the white beard said to his animals,
"Oh, chicks, little chicks and spotted cow, the maid's request shall we allow?"
The low voice seemed to answer, "Yes," and they all nodded their heads. The little maiden went into the stable, smoothed the feathers of the cock and hen with her hand, and rubbed the spotted cow between the horns. Then the old man told the girl to cook the supper. It was ready very quickly, and after placing the dishes on the table, she said to him,
"Sit down and eat your supper while I go out and feed the animals. Do not wait for me. I shall be back soon."
The good girl found grain for the chickens and gave the cow a lock of sweet hay and some meal.
"Eat this, you dear animals,"
she said,
"and if you are thirsty, I will bring you some fresh water."
Then she brought them a pailful from the spring. The cock and the hen flew up to the edge of the pail, dipped in their beaks, and then lifted their heads while the cow took a long drink of the cool water. After she had taken care of the animals, the maiden seated herself at the table and ate what the old man had left for her. In a little while the fowls hid their heads under their wings, the cow lay down, and the maiden said,
"May I now go to sleep?"
Then the old man said,
"Oh, little chicks and spotted cow, the maid's request shall we allow?"
And the animals answered,
"We feel that she's our queen should be."
So the maiden went upstairs, shook both beds well, and made them. And after saying her prayers, she soon sound asleep. That night, when the clock struck 12, the walls of the house began to creak and groan. The doors sprang open and struck against the walls. The rafters cracked as if their joints were broken. The stairs were turning upside down, and at last there came a crash, as if the roof and the walls had fallen in. Then all was still. By this time, the maiden was in such a fright that she could not move. But when she found that she was not hurt in the least, and still in her warm little bed, she lay quite still, and at last went sound asleep again. In the morning, when the bright sunshine awoke the maiden, what a sight met her eyes! She was laying in a fine large room, with beautiful rugs on the floor, and with chairs and tables of solid gold, while the walls were hung with shining silks. The bed was of ivory, and the covering of red velvet. On a chair close by stood a pair of slippers shining with pearls and diamonds. The maiden thought she must be dreaming. But while she was looking about her, 3 servants came in and asked what they could do for her.
"Nothing," she answered. "Only go away so I can get up and cook the old man's breakfast for him, and give those dear animals their food."
When the girl had dressed herself and gone downstairs, she met in the beautiful hall below a handsome young man, who said,
"Dear maiden, I am a king's son, who was changed by a wicked witch into an old man, with a long white beard. My castle was changed into a wooden house, and my servants into a cock, a hen, and a spotted cow. The charm could never be broken, unless a maiden came to visit us who had a loving heart and who was as kind to animals as to men. You are that maiden, and last night, while we slept, you broke the charm. The old wooden house was again made a royal castle, and the animals were given their former shape as my servants. I will now send them to bring your father and mother to live with us, for I wish you to be my wife." "But where are my sisters?"
she asked.
I have shut them up in the cellar," he answered. "But now they may come out, for they surely have learned by this time that they must always be kind to animals."
And that is the story of the house in the wood. Once again, thank you for joining us for another AFuzzyWorld reading collective. We go live every Monday night at 11 p.m. And you can always download or reread these books on library.afuzzyworld.net. Remember, you are doing a good job. I love you very much, and have a wonderful night. We will see you in the future.